Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exciting episode of You've Already Peaked Gaming Podcast. Coming live from not Cancun, Mexico, it is Locarthemanbeast. I'm impressed with how much energy and enthusiasm he's putting into this intro.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's me. Hi, fuckers.
What's up, Boobaloo?
I'm fucking dying.
Yeah, I know you are. Struggle busting a little bit, huh?
At this point, I just want it to fucking hit me hard the next couple days because we are like 1 week away.
Dude, I came back from Mexico feeling so bad I took a COVID test. I was like, maybe.
I just took a COVID test.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I'm dying. No COVID, though. Unfortunate.
I know.
Yeah,
It's kind of that, like, at least I know what to expect.
Yeah,
from
exactly.
COVID, you know?
Bro, I came back from Mexico with like a really fucking... I sound like Sean. Like cough that's like in my lungs. I don't know where the fuck it came from. Nobody else has gotten sick, though. Audrey's not feeling well right now, but...
Everybody's telling me influenza A.
Dude, let's fucking go, dude.
I guess.
I mean, it's a new year, right? New year, new bullshit. Let's go. Oh, man. So what have you been up to for the past week? Sorry we missed last week's podcast. We had to miss last week's podcast.
We had to.
I mean, knowing how bad you feel now, you should have just shot it with Sean.
I know.
And then we should have just skipped this one.
I've just been working.
Yep.
I did have 2 days off. 2? Yeah. Friday, Saturday. But no one was around.
No,
I had just flown back in. You and Cliff were gone.
Yeah.
Sean was MIA. Will was at work.
Jesus Christ.
I turned on the computer, got the alcohol out, and I was like, all right, let's go. And I think I just watched some YouTube videos. And
Yeah.
it's fucking sad.
It's too bad, man. Too bad. I didn't even watch any of our uploads. I mean, I could have, but I didn't. A lot of it was like, a lot of it.
Why? What did you do?
I was just, first off. Okay. Let's start the vacation. I think that's the coolest thing about it. It was I had a very good week. I had a very, very good week.
I want to listen to this like fucking Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
Tell me more, Trevor.
I wish we had a guy to do.
I need just like a number pad.
ALS.
Right here.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Killed it.
So we start our day hella fucking early. Like we needed to be at the airport at like, I think our flight was at like 4:30 or 5 in the morning. So we left like super, super early so we get there. But we also like didn't sleep that night. So I got up at like 2:30 or whatever. It's like woke Audrey up. I was like, all right, grab all of our stuff. Let's go. And then we were like, fuck, all right, let's get food now before we get to the airport. So we can just get some munchies, like get breakfast or whatever. And then we'll hit the airport. Sacramento fast food in general doesn't open till 5 a.m. So we left the house, packed everything up, left the house at 2:30, and then drove to like 5 different McDonald's. Couldn't find food, was like, fuck it, let's just get to the airport. So we ended up
24 hours anymore.
It's the weirdest thing. So we ended up being at the airport like 2.5 hours early.
And even the one that was by your old apartment, not 24 hours anymore.
Weird, right? Fucking weird. So we sit around, we got some breakfast or whatever. We get on our first flight is out to where the fuck did we go? I don't know. Well, we went out to Salt Lake. We flew out to Salt Lake first, and there's like fucking snow on the ground and stuff. And then our second flight, first class, all the way out to Cancun. So we paid for the fucking place, right? So this resort is dope. It's fucking super dope. But we paid for like the premium big boy VIP package. So like we get there, then they tell us our names. Well, we get through customs, or not customs, but we pick up all of our bags and then go through customs or whatever. And we'd been waiting for friends. So when we finally got to where we were supposed to get picked up at, they were like, "Oh, you finally made it!" Like we didn't know what happened. It was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, yeah, it was a flight. We were waiting for friends. And they're like, "Okay, Mr. Gannon, like come with us." So they put us in like an Escalade, and then drive us all the way out to the resort, which is like 45 minutes. It's an hour away.
Oh, fuck your friends.
Yeah,
Get
pretty much. There was like 9 of us together, like 8 of us together, and they're like, "Okay, you guys can stay. We're taking them." So we get to the hotel and we get out of the car, and they're like, "Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Gannon, oh, we're so glad you finally got here." And we're like, "What the fuck is going on?" We walk through the front doors. They hand us champagne, and we're like,
They've been waiting for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Any minute now, they're coming, guys. Don't you dare fucking move.
So they walk us upstairs to like the executive lounge. They get us all of our keys. They walk us through the whole thing. They get a guy to take all our bags and everything with us. They walk us around the resort, explain things to us, take us up to our hotel room. There's a bucket that's supposed to have champagne and ice. It's been sitting there so long, it's just water now. And so what we didn't realize is because we told them this is when our flight gets off, this is when you need to pick us up, and we were waiting for friends for so long, they had prepped and did all this stuff for us to be there at a very specific time. And we were like 2 hours late because we were waiting for people.
There's like dead doves in a cage.
Yeah, exactly. Just,
open it.
The guy, he's like, I've been holding my piss for fucking 3 hours. Like, you know what I mean? So anyway, I was like, okay, dope. So we'll do whatever from there. So people are getting situated. I think we got dinner with some people. The first place we go to is they have like a Mexican restaurant on site. I'm like, dope, let's go. Tacos, I'll get them now. I haven't really drank a whole lot. There's no way I can lose my phone. Let's go. So we go there. And then the first night, they're like, sorry, this is the only night we're not really doing our Mexican food. Like, our menu is like, is seafood. We're like, all right, fine, fuck it, we'll get whatever.
Fish
I
tacos?
should have fucking known from that moment there that there is no such thing as Mexican food on this resort. It's all what you would imagine Mexican food to be if you had white people eating it every day, right? Like, it's that type of Mexican food. Like, the most Mexican thing I had was chilaquiles, you know, but like the tacos are not really tacos. You know what I mean? Like
American tacos.
It's all American, like done stuff.
Like not street tacos,
bro,
not fucking...
There was, I mean, the Hispanic people worked there. There was like a few fucking like ethnic people running around. 99.9% of this resort was white people. And it was weird. It was fucking weird.
That's really weird.
Yeah. So it was like, okay. And so apparently our buddy Alex was telling us, because he stays at one that's like down the way a little bit, that's more of like a party resort. I guess this whole block of things is just like old white people and swingers. And like, that's the fucking thing. And like some places, right. So, right. We're getting back into this, but so anyway, so that was our first day. Okay. We go back to the hotel. We have a few drinks, whatever, the next day.
And this may come off sounding incredibly crass
and
insensitive.
I love it. Let's go.
But with a resort full of white people working it.
No, not working it. Not working it.
Oh.
No, yeah. No. The whole entire... Like, no.
Fuck, man.
There wasn't a single employee there that was not Hispanic. Like, everybody was absolutely Hispanic there. But so everybody who was...
That kind of really...
Yeah.
Really fuck the whole tipping situation.
Oh, yeah. No.
You tip a Mexican dude. Like, I accidentally gave this guy, I was fucked up. I thought it was a $10 bill. It was a $100 bill. And that motherfucker would not leave me alone.
Yeah.
I walked out of my door and he had been like sleeping there with a tray of drinks. He's like, hey, senor. Like, and like, I mean, like, oh, yeah. God bless him. That was my dog.
Well, that was my whole thing.
So a white dude, he's all, thanks. And then gives you attitude the next time you don't tip him.
Exactly. Well, that was my whole thing. Okay. I told Audrey, I was like, there's like 3 people I want to like tip. It's like the first person is the dude who drops us off in the car, because he'll probably be the same dude that picks us up. Like, I want to make sure that he gets us to where we need to go. Second one is the dude who brings all the bags in, because he's the first person that sees us, like, experiences with us. And like, when he goes back, they're like, oh, how was it? And like, he'll be like, oh, he's a fucking great people. They tipped, blah, 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 blah. It's always usually the best, like, and then the first time you meet your room service lady, it's like, tip them, because they will take care of the fucking rest of your house. Sure shit. Those are the 3 people I tipped. Every experience from there on was great. I've never done an all-inclusive before where it's...
Did it scare you when you got the final bill?
There was
You
no...
like that they...
There was no final bill. No.
Oh, they itemized. They're all... It's all free, but they kept... Everything was itemized. I was like, how the fuck did I drink 852 Tecates?
I mean...
it's all line by line. It doesn't even say, like, Tecate times 800 and something. It's like, Tecate.
You one by one?
It's the only thing longer than a CVS receipt.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously.
Like, oh my God.
So, no. When we went to check out, they just looked at our thing and was like, you don't know anything. You're good to go.
Nice.
Cool. Awesome. No, it's just surreal because I think maybe because of the industry I work in, and I work with the people, you know, that are like, that come to America that are just trying to find jobs. They'll dig ditches for me and shit like that. And then we're at this like fancy ass resort and it's like peasants type of thing. And like, you just leave your shit wherever. And there's like, you don't have to wait for anybody to like clear your tables or stuff like that. You know what I mean? You just like, oh, you're done with this. Just stand up and leave. And like, you don't need to say anything to anybody. And it's like, it's really kind of a mind fuck. It feels bad. Like it feels bad the first couple days. And then like,
that's why you drink through it.
Well, yeah, you absolutely drink through it. Well, it also got to the point where like the people there were like, no, this is not like the other white people, but like the people that work there were like, no, this is what we do. Just fucking go for it. Have fun. That's what we get paid to do. That's why we're here. Just, you've already paid your shit. Just have fun. I was like, okay, cool. So I lightened up a little bit about that. I still would like pick up my plates and like, you know, move shit around, try and make it a little bit easier. But I wasn't complete savage. Like there were some people that would just like drop cups and be like, fuck it. And then just walk off to the bar to get another drink. And I was like, oh man, like, but also that nonstop flow of alcohol.
It's vicious.
Dude, it's scary. It's scary because I mean, I train every day of my life for this. And at one point I was like, man, maybe I'm going to be sick of it. It's like 5 days running. I was like, doop, 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 doop. And I was like swapping drinks too. It was like, I got in, I found out they had Cavassier and I was like, oh, just pour.
I saw.
Yeah.
Cliff was sending me pictures of you in the first one. Like if this is the picture, you were like this. I was like, man, how fucked up are you? You can't even send her the picture on Trevor's. Oh, there's two subjects in this picture. And then your phone was in the background on a chair. And I was like, oh. So then every time I got a picture, it was like, where's Trevor's phone?
Well, that was the whole like start of this whole thing. Is every time like, so I put my phone down, and then Trevor would be like, or Cliff would be like, let me take a picture of you, send to Brad. I was like, oh, okay. So like, but I like, consciously knew I had my phone, but it was like we were making this joke of like, every time he went to take it, he's like, the phone's just getting progressively farther away from me. So it's like, you'll be taking a picture here.
You're on a beach.
Yeah, exactly.
500 feet apart.
So, but I was real well, and that was a big thing too, is that like, you can't really take your phone, like the whole resort had like the best Wi-Fi ever. Like, didn't matter where you were just, you had internet. You were good to go. But it was also because they had all of their menus and everything on this like app on their phone.
You scan them.
No, it wasn't even scanned. You just downloaded an app and like everything you had, you ordered anything you want through the fucking app, and then you know, pulled up the menus and whatever. So other than needing your phone for that, you were like at the beach or in the pool, and you didn't really need anything. So like I just never took my phone with me, you know, unless I knew we were going to dinner and I needed the menu. But yeah, so and then with our VIP service, like we had our own private beach and we had our own private pools and fucking, we had the expensive alcohol in our room. Like everybody else got like Captain and what else. And then like ours got like some fucking like super fancy Jamaican rum and shit like that. And
Ron Zapata.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Bottles of wine. Every time that we cracked a bottle open and like barely paid, they just swapped it out for a new bottle. It was fucking wild. It was a weird experience.
Just opening bottles before you leave. Like, I just want it to be new when I get back.
Yeah, exactly right. Don't taint this with whatever's been sitting here. So yeah, it was fucking cool. So that was like the first couple days.
Did any of your alcohol taste like it was watered down?
No, actually, and this was the weirdest part. Most of my alcohol tasted like it was fucking doubles every time I drank them. Yeah. And there may have been one drink I had where I was like, and I think it was like a new guy mixing a mojito for the first time. And he did like one of the things where like you just add too much mint and lime, and then like you threw ice to crunch, or like you did that and then threw the ice on top of it, and then there wasn't enough room for all the rest of the mixer. So it was like, And that's like when you go back to the other people, and then we were also tipping these people like really well. Like we kept going back to the same bar. The bar is in a pool. So it's like you go to the main pool and then there's a bar in the pool. So we like met these guys. The guys that walked on the outside, this dude Angel, and then this guy inside, I don't know, fucking Lori got to be best friends with them. They all gave him like over the course of 5 days, we gave him like probably $200 in tips. And like every time we walked back, every time Lori walked back up, he was like 9 drinks, and she's like, yeah, 9 drinks. And he's like, okay, just make doubles for us, and then just fucking Lori would just come back with 9 drinks to the pool.
Oh man.
Me and Cliff went out jet skiing, so we rented jet skis for an hour. Bro, that might have been where my back fucking finally gave out. Like.
Oh, so your back literally gave out.
Oh yeah, I was done, dude.
I thought you were just like,
no.
Oh god, my poor back
No.
because I went jet skiing in Cancun.
No, literally could not walk the next day. Couldn't sit down. I squatted to pick something up, and I squatted, yelled, like whimper yelled, and then Audrey had to like lift me up. I could not get up. I sat down to take a shit, and I just sat on the toilet crying and couldn't stand back up again. Like, yeah, I was fucked. But it was dope, dude. Jet skis were fucking sick. It was so dope. We rented them for an hour. The water close to the beach was like super like mellow, kind of chop, but like then they were like, okay, so see where like the seawall is? I'm like, yeah, and like don't go past that because that's like boat lane. He's like, see all the way down there to the next resort? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, that's pretty much as far as you can go. Can't go any farther than where our resort is. He's like, and you see how there's like a far ass island over there? It's like, yeah. He says, see the light blue water? It's like, yeah, that's the sandbar. So you can go all the way. I mean, we're talking like a couple miles. Like, as long as you just don't hit the sandbar, you're good to go. Go. And then we just fucking booked it for fucking an hour on the jet skis. We ran the jet skis so much, Cliff ran out of gas. Like, we went out as far as we could, and Cliff ran out of gas in the middle of the ocean. And we're like, he's like, what do I do? And I was like, I'll be right back. So I mobbed back to the beach. I was like, he's out of gas. So I picked the other guy up, drove him all the way out to the fucking cliff. He gets out there. He starts Cliff's fucking jet ski instantly. Cliff's like, no fucking way. I've been sitting here trying it the whole time. And the guy like pulls it. And he's like, no, you're out of gas. Like, I'll get it back. So, okay. So Cliff hops on the back of my jet ski. We fucking flip ours instantly. Because we're like 2 big ass dudes on a jet ski, you know? It's like, fuck. So I mob him all the way in. And then, like, I get in, and I'm looking at mine, and I'm like, dude, I'm almost out of gas. And the guy's like, no, you're good. The fucking odometer things are off. And I was like, okay, I'm telling you, ride these quite a bit. I've been out here for like 45 minutes. I'm pretty sure it's probably low at this point. No, you're good. So I take off. Cliff's waiting for his to get filled. I go out to meet Audrey. I get to Audrey. My jet ski fucking runs out of gas. I float back to the fucking beach. So Cliff has to then get his jet ski, go back, pick the guy up, run the guy back over to get my stuff, take us back over. So it was like this whole runaround thing. But towards the end of it was like they filled us up and they're like, dude, because we fucked you a little bit, you guys get like an extra bit of time. We'll give you like another 20 minutes. It's cool, whatever. So we were out running. Well, towards the end of the day, because we rented like 2 o'clock or whatever. So like by the time like 3 o'clock was rolling up, like the waves are starting to get a little bit bigger. So like I was like told Cliff, I was like, go out to the sandbar and then follow the waves in, dude. And you're just like you just fucking launch it. It was so sick. Like, and
that's where your back got.
That's where my back got. Yeah, dude, you're riding it like a horse, you know? It's like,
yeah.
At the end of the day, I got done and like my hands were like, you know, this, the whole body was this. And I was like, it was like working out. I was like, okay, man, this will be fine.
I worked out.
Yeah, exactly. 6 hours later, I was still like this. I was like, oh, that can't be good. And then I woke up the next morning. I was like, oh, like my butt cheek hurt. Like
ridiculous.
Yeah. That lactic acid buildup hit so hard. And then it was just fucking, I was just miserable from then on. And that was.
And the alcohol wouldn't help anymore.
I mean, it did. Once I got in the pool, and then I just told him, I was like, I hurt really bad. I need doubles. And he's like, no problem. Like, drink enough of it. And you're like, I kind of forget.
I feel okay.
Yeah. But then you get to like a point where like you get out of the pool and like the alcohol kind of slows down. Like, we're going to go to dinner. So I'm not going to be shit house at dinner. So you try and like sober up a little bit. And it's like, oh, now I feel uncomfortable again. So.
Can I get a bottle of cab and a funnel?
Yep. So. But I mean, positives is I came home with my phone.
You came home.
I came home. Oh yeah, we're not done there. That's a good point. And I didn't burn. I didn't burn. Like I put enough like screen on and like paid attention to that enough that
that's impressive.
Because when I came back from Hawaii this last trip, like the top of my head was coming off like a sheet. I burnt so bad. You know what I mean? So
that's the worst too. It's all peeling.
And God. You just like rub your hand, all of a sudden it's just like, oh, what the fuck?
The only comfort you can get is wearing a hat, but you can't wear a hat. It just
well, and it's also really, I mean, like fucking the grossest part about that is like when your head, especially for bald guys that will know this, if you put a cap on and you start to sweat, like the skin kind of
slush.
It's a slush and it kind of like fucking sweats underneath the dead skin. That's so gross, dude. Oh, it's so nasty.
It's when you clean out the
inside. Yeah, there's like a fucking film. Oh, it's so gross. I usually just like I have that hat. It's like, oh, that's my sunburn hat. And then when I'm done with it just go straight in the trash. Like I'm not even gonna clean that.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so on our way out, we're like, okay, everything's good to go. Fucking service has been amazing. We go to do a checkout. Everybody else leaves about 30, 45 minutes before us. So we're sitting waiting for our ride. And they're like, okay, your ride's almost here. Just hang out for a little bit. We're okay, no problem. We're sitting, we're waiting. Guy comes up and goes, okay, Mr. Gannon, like your ride's here. We're ready to take you to the airport. I was like, thank you. We walk outside and there's a fucking stretch Humvee limo. And I'm like, this one? He's like, yeah. It's like, good car, yeah? Well, I guess. I was like, anybody else coming? He's like, no, just you. So it's just me and Audrey sitting in the back of this fucking limo by ourselves. Get all
of our friends could have fit in this.
Yeah, I was like everyone, and they were even because they got like a big like party bus thing to take them to the airport, and they were like there was like 10 empty seats in there. She's like, we could have all gone together. I was like, yeah, but we would have not gotten the limo, so yeah. So anyway, so we get all the way out to the airport in plenty enough time. We go through, we check our baggage. So I get out of the car and like, I'm struggling. I can barely walk. Right. And like, so I'm hobbling and they come up to like pick up our bags. The guy's like, do you need a wheelchair? I was like, nah, man, I'll be all right. And he's like, no, fuck it. Let me get you a wheelchair. It's all right. So I'm hoping he's just going to give me the wheelchair. I'm just going to fucking power myself. Nope. They decided they were going to push me all the way through the airport. As their job.
Nice.
Once they give you, there's something degrading about that. Like,
fuck that. You should have fucking grabbed like an umbrella and hit Audrey right in the side of her fucking leg. And then she gets it too, and your posts just get pulled around.
So this will come into play a little bit later.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm just saying personally, I don't know if it's just like a man thing or if it's just like me, myself, like I don't want to feel like I can't do something. Even though it was probably the best experience. Had I not had that and I had to mob all the way through those airports, I would have been struggling, like beyond struggling. So like I'm happy about that, but at the same point in time, it's also like everybody's looking at you like, why is this young ass kid in a wheelchair? You know, it's like, oh, whatever. Fucking you guys can get one too. They're just right outside. So anyway, pushes all the way through. We go to Margaritaville, we get our shit, everything's cool. We're like fucking an hour from our flight or whatever. And we're like, cool, let's get some food. Let's hang out. We board hella early. Everybody's on. It's a full plane. They get us situated. We're going
first ride out.
This is the first from Cancun.
Yep.
Dude's like, okay, we're going to Phoenix. We're going to leave. We're probably going to be right about on time. Or if not, we'll be like 5 minutes early. 4.5 hour flight. Boom. We get all the way to Phoenix. We hit fucking tarmac in Phoenix. Captain comes on and says, hey guys, welcome to Phoenix. We are 15 minutes early. So we're just waiting for some things to clear up, but we'll get you in and get you going. Because the thing is when you leave Cancun into America, you still have to go through customs. So you have to go downstairs. You have to pick up your bag. You have to go through customs. And then when you get done with customs, you have to leave customs area, go back through TSA to recheck your bags. And then you have to get on your next flight. So the span of time from one plane to the next plane is only like maybe we had 2 hours and we landed 15 minutes early. So we were there at 7:15 or so.
Now Phoenix is the worst airport.
A shithole.
In the fucking world.
It is shithole.
There's always some, and I know exactly, like customs is over here and every other gate is on the complete opposite side. And for some reason, there's always construction in the middle. So you have to go and take a turnaround and stuff.
So I'll get you with
show.
one even better. I haven't flown out of I haven't flown out of Phoenix in probably 15 years. Since I think before me and Audrey were dating or right after me and Audrey had started dating. So we're talking 15 years. I remember that place
working on the same thing.
Yeah, I remember that fucking place being a shithole. We hit Phoenix and every fucking person in the airport is like, every time we come to Phoenix, it's same bullshit.
Yup.
So we're on the tarmac 15 minutes early. We don't get to our gate until 30 minutes after the time we're supposed to be arrived. So we're 15 minutes early. We didn't get to a gate until 30 minutes after the point that we're supposed to be there. So the whole time from tarmac to fucking hitting a gate was like almost an hour. So our 2-hour gap is now down to like a fucking 1 hour span. And we got to go through all this. So now we're trying to deboard. And there's like people on the plane. There's people trying to make connecting flights all over the place. Because everybody just came from Cancun. Nobody's like, I'm coming home to Phoenix. Right? So everybody's trying to get in a connecting flight. But there's like 5 or 6 people in the front that are like taking their time. Because their plane's not for 4 hours. And it's like, bitch, you got to move. Like, get us the fuck off the plane. Like, we got to go. So we get off the plane. And I'm hobbling. And there's a kid waiting there for me, like in a wheelchair. It's an 18-year-old kid. And he's like, oh, are you Trevor? I was like, yeah, I'm Trevor. He's like, okay, come on. We got to get you downstairs. And I was like, okay, well, I got a wife with me, man. He's like, well, that's fine. Just keep up. We got to move. I'm like, okay, you sure? Because I got to connect over to this. He's like, dude, I don't know if you're going to make it, but we got to go. We get all the way down to baggage claim. First off, one of the baggage fucking thingies hasn't been working in months. So the reason why we hit the tarmac so bad is because one of those baggage claims is so bad, they didn't want to stick the planes in that one area to then not have the bags get to where they need to get to. And so 3 planes from
genius
London and fucking someplace else arrived at the same point in time. So they have all these bags
They're
trying
all in a stalemate.
Yeah, everybody's just standing there trying to get in and out.
Nope. You go to that gate. I'm not going to that gate.
So we get off on B3. Our fucking next flight is B17. It's down the loop, up the loop, and right here. We get off. We go downstairs. We pick up our bags. We are now down to probably 35 minutes of time before our plane takes off. This kid finds our bags and they finally come out. He picks them up and he's like, I'm going to go. We go to customs. He throws the bag at the dudes at customs. He's like, they have to get to the Sacramento flight. And the guy like kind of looks at it. He's like, dude, I don't know if they're going to make it. He's like, we're not checking the bags. Just go. And the guy was like, okay, let's take care of it. So they take the bags. He's then running. He's like knocking into people. He ran up. There was like another girl who's like pushing someone in a wheelchair and like ran over her foot. She's like, ah! And he's like, well, you gotta move. And he's just
rollerball.
It was dangerous. He's like, I'm not gonna tip you, but just keep your arms in. I was like, what? So this kid is fucking pushing me. I'm like going like, like fucking, and I turn around and Audrey's in
better than the jet skis.
Audrey's in sprint, but she's also hurting too. So I was like, you can't leave the wife behind. And she's like, just get him on the plane. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, do I wait? Do I go? I was like, find another wheelchair. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, find another wheelchair. She's sitting in front of me.
Two-handed?
Yeah, no, I'll hold her in front of me. You can then push the both of us and we'll just fucking mob. He's like, that's a great idea. So like now he's starting to like serpentine, look for another fucking wheelchair. So we get upstairs. Well, at Phoenix, Terminal B TSA closes at 8 o'clock. Well, it's now 8:35. So now he has to run us all the way down to A terminal for TSA. So now we have to go to the opposite end of the fucking airport. So he's booking it. We get all the way down to TSA. We're fucking ripping stuff off. We're trying to get through TSA. I'm hobbling my ass. We're explaining to them, like, we got to be on a flight back over in B section. We're going to Sacramento. It is literally boarding. Like like they're about to take off. And they're like, okay, no problem. So the lady goes to fucking get Audrey through, obviously doesn't hear the conversation, and now starts to do the full TSA security check pat down. And so I finally snap. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And like everybody looks and Audrey's like, she's just doing her job. And like our fucking wheelchair guy was like, they have to be on a plane in 5 minutes. And she's like, oh, okay. You're free to go. So we get all of our stuff. Now the kid is in full sprint again, back down to the other side of the fucking terminal. So he's fucking booking it. And he's like telling her, Audrey, as she's like running, she's like, there's like the motor walkways, just run on those because you'll be able to keep up faster.
Yeah.
So like he's booking me up a hill. Audrey's running like fucking the $6 million man on this fucking thing. We get all the way down, and it's now you go uphill and then it's all downhill. And he's fucking booking it down. I'm like, dude, if you beef this right now, we both died. He's like, you're fine. Like we get all the way.
We both died.
We get all the way up to the gate. The dude's shutting the door to the plane. We see our fucking flight. It's like fully closed or whatever. So we fucking roll up. We finally get there. Everybody's out of breath. I'm the only person not out of breath, you know, because I'm an athlete.
Come on, let's go, guys.
Yeah, what the fuck is everybody? Audrey's in full sweat. The kid behind me can barely talk. He's like trying to hold the guy by fucking like passport or whatever. And the guy's like, sorry, man, we're boarded. And I'm like, dude, we are here. We're fucking here. And he's like, well, where are you sitting? I was like, we get 2 first class seats. He's like, I gave away your first class seats. I'm like, what the? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, it's not my fault. We're fucking late. I was like, why did your American Airlines to the other American Airlines we're on not check to see that we're making this fucking connection? And he's like, I don't know what to tell you. You need to go back to fucking customer service, American Airlines customer service. And I'm like, is there any fucking seats on this flight at all? Because we're trying to go home. Our bags are supposedly going to be on this fucking flight. He's like, no, you got to go to the customer service desk. We're like, motherfucker. So now we got to book all the way back up to fucking customer service. So like we're mobbing all the way to customer service. We get to customer service and I'm like, you guys better have another fucking plane going to Sacramento. And this fucking guy comes running. The guy who's like, he like comes right up. He's like, I've got 1 first class seat and 1 economy seat or like business class seat available. Do you want those? Like, yes, we want those. He's like, okay, come back with me. So now we run back all the way down to the fucking plane. This guy's out of breath.
You could have just checked.
You could have just checked. This guy's out of breath.
He's all there, almost there. All right, now I'll tell him.
Well, yeah, I mean, him telling me would have been like a dick move, except for he sprinted to tell us and then sprinted back to get us checked in. So he's at the terminal and he's not like a young dude or a well-fit dude, but because he's been sprinting, yeah, he's like in like pre-stroke mode trying to type this stuff in. And it's like, bro, just get us on the fucking plane. Who gives a shit what the tickets say? You see our tickets, just get us on the fucking plane. So we finally get on the plane. Everybody's kind of like giving us that look like, you've held us up. Like, kiss my ass. Hit the plane. We fly out to Sac. It's a fucking short 1.5-hour ride, dude. We get into Sacramento. They wheel me downstairs. I'm like, I hope the bags are there. Like, that's all I care about. Because I took all of my clothes with me. So I'm wearing like day old underwear at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I just need to make sure my bags are here because I don't want to have to fucking fight these guys. The worst I want to do is go fight them because they sold one of our first class tickets. That's all I want to get. You know, I want to get the $500 back for that. But I need my fucking bags. Well, because our bags were pretty much the last ones on the fucking plane, they were the first ones on the conveyor belt out the door.
Nice.
So like as the first ones came through, both our bags were there. We grabbed them, snagged them, came home, and that was the end of the trip. And I was like, it was like not hungover, but like, you know, a week of straight drinking, just fatigue, body pain. Like, oh my God.
Where your calves feel like they don't work at all.
Yeah, like they still don't. They still don't.
Fighting against your knees.
Yeah.
Whenever you try to bend your legs.
I mean, that's the biggest thing is like sitting down to poop. I've just been shitting in the shower, standing straight up, just because it's easier. Yeah. No, just leaving it.
Just Audrey will deal with it.
Yeah, so that was the fucking flight. So my recommendation for anybody is if you ever have a connecting flight out of
transfer through Phoenix
and do anything, if it means you have to take 1 extra fucking stop to not go to Phoenix. Mm-hmm. And like we were in an elevator, the guy was like, because we were trying to get to the place and you have to take an elevator up, and Audrey was like, guys, can we cut in front of you, man? Like we gotta fight, our flight's in 5 minutes. And they're like, no, come on with us. So like we park on with them. And he's like, what happened? And we're like, we don't fucking know. There was a whole thing. And this guy was like, fuck Phoenix. This place is always shit. Like, it was just.
And why is it so long?
Yeah.
It is like. And you always, like, if you need to be here, you come in there.
Yeah.
And there's always something going on in the middle. I don't understand it.
It's
the worst fucking layout in the world.
I don't understand any of it. It was a complete nightmare. But I will tell you, I should have fucking give that kid our card. Hey, watch our YouTube channel. It's like I think his
We
name,
were having a whole episode dedicated to you.
bro, seriously, I think the kid's name was Brian or whatever. This 18-year-old little kid, dude. Like, you can just tell he probably burns a little bit, like, you know, waiting for people to show up. But that kid put in fucking work.
He's a soul skater. He used to work at Team Pup.
Yes. I reached in my pocket. I think I had like $100 and some odd and like just money left over, and I just handed it to him. He's like, "What do you want?" I was like, "Just fucking take it. It's either too little or too much." And at this point, I don't give a shit. Just take the money in my hand. But yeah. So, but I will tell you, the resort aspect was super cool. I don't think I would do that place again in a big group. It is not designed to try and pack 9 people together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Four people, 3 people, you know, it's like
they're all like 4 tops.
Mm-hmm.
So they're pulling like round tables together. So it's not really like
it was definitely designed as like, yeah, hey, we have a bunch of friends here, but we're not all doing the same thing together. You know what I mean? If that was the case, if there was, because we had 9 people with us. Oh, I forgot the fucking big old thing night fucking 2. So there's 2 people showing up on, so we get there on Wednesday. Audrey's birthday's on Thursday. So there's 2 people showing up on fucking Thursday. One of them is our friend Vivian, and one of them is our friend Cliff. Good old Cliff. So he's like texting me. He's like, I'm on, man. I'm in the fucking thing. I was like, all right, dude.
I was almost crying laughing.
I was like, let me know when you get here. So he's like, I'm here. Where you at? I'm at the martini bar. All right, I'm coming.
Cliff has tacos.
So like, so
I like how that was the defining.
So we started talking about it. I was like, I'm wandering the martini bar. I'm like, bro, I don't see you. Like, and he's like, I just checked with the front desk. I'm at the wrong hotel. His hotel is literally on the opposite end of the strip of Cancun, basically. So he's like an hour and like some odd minutes away. And we're like, okay, cool. It's an excellence club. So like he's at the Riviera, we're at the Playa. So it's like they're owned by the same company. So I go, and like now with my VIP status, I put an ask off on. I've walked upstairs. I've got a smoking pipe. And I talked to these guys. I said, okay, look, this is where my friend is at. He's made the wrong reservation apparently, or when he called in, because we sent him all the information, but when he was trying to do it all, you know, confusion happened, so he got put at the wrong spot. Do you have any of these size units available, and can he come and transfer over here? So I'm talking to my people and like, yeah, not a problem. This shit happens all the time. No big deal. We've got some rooms available. We even save a few of these rooms just in case shit like this happens. So like, no problem. The only issue is he's got to wait until this time in the morning because the transfer service is already closed for the evening. There's nothing he can do. Tell him to wait till tomorrow at 9. Give the phone call. They'll get them all transferred over, no problem. Sick. Now, this is the fancier resort. Cliff's at a fancy resort, but, you know, just he's at like A-. Yeah, exactly. They're like, nothing we can do, bro. The whole time. And he's like, they're just telling me nothing. And I'm like, bro, talk to my people then, because my people are apparently like, yeah, we'll do whatever we need to do to get you fucking situated. So he's like, he's trying to figure everything out. He can't. He's like, I'm going to bed. In the morning, they finally tell him, you got to talk to Sarah. Sarah's the manager. Sarah's 45 minutes late. She hasn't shown up to work yet. He's back and forth between, and they keep talking to people and they keep telling him to call somebody else. He calls somebody else. They keep telling him to call back to the other people. He's just doing the back and forth. Eventually, however, it fucking worked out. And he was telling me, but I was already kind of drunk. I guess when he finally like sat down with Sarah and was like, this is what has to happen. And this is where I need to go. They're able to get him situated. He paid for a taxi, came and met me over here. So we go downstairs. It's identical. Apparently the fucking lobbies and everything, the foyer, are like identical. So when we get downstairs to the martini bar, he's like, this is the same fucking martini bar. It's the same fucking thing. And he's like, the only reason why I knew that we were at a different spot is he's like, right next to the martini bar at my place is like a jewelry store. At his place was a taco shop. And he's like, the whole time, he's like, is Trevor fucking with me? Where he's like, I can't find tacos anywhere. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. So that was all. He was like, dude, was because I finally told him, I was like, okay, well, worst comes to worst, you can just come and stay with us apparently, and then we'll just get it worked out. But yeah, it all worked out in the end. It was a good fucking vacation. I'm not doing that again for many moons, though.
Oh man.
Oh man. We met some.
I do like that. Like, you guys flew into Mexico right as the Sinaloa cartel is like literally fighting the military, and they're showing full planes full of people trying to land in Mexico, and all the passengers are like head in their hands on the ground because they're just shooting 50 cals at any planes that are close.
I mean, it's
I'm like, oh, they're flying out. Turn on Twitter, and that's the first thing I see is just like just shooting in the sky at whatever's moving.
It's very, very small areas that are having that problem. Like, because I even asked one of the guys there, it's like, how's it been with like the cartel out here? And he's like, they don't fuck with this area. He's like, there's too much money that comes into here from white people. They
what
like
he's not saying is they own a lot of that area.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He's like, they just don't fuck with people out here because this is where all the money comes from. I was like, and like, it's so funny because
it's the safest place in all of Mexico.
I was gonna say,
there's no pickpocketing.
Nope.
There's no missing items.
Nope.
There is no anything.
We left
because they will decapitate you and kill your whole family.
Yeah.
Because that puts a bad reputation.
Yeah.
On the area that's
Yeah.
bringing them all this money.
Yeah. I guarantee you, because at the end of their stay, they even called us and they were asking, if you would rate us a 5, 1 to 5, 5 being the best, what would you rate us? It's like, give yourself something higher than a 5 because I've had a wonderful vacation. I want to know the person that gets the call was like, oh, I had a 1, and like they're just on the phone like, are you sure? It's like, are you sure it was a 1? Like, can you name anyone that wasn't me that you're talking to? So
Joe Rogan one time, he was at, I think it was Cabo, and like the nicest resort in all of Cabo, and there's just like celebrities and shit there, and they're riding like ATVs, and he said like he wanted to fuck off to this area because they're like, just don't go past there, and like he rolled up on like a for real like tank and like a Humvee with like a 50 cal on it, and he's like, oh shit, oh sorry. They're like, it's okay, sir, just turn around. And he's like, oh, are you guys protection from the cartel? They're like, no, we are the cartel, sir. And he's like, what? Oh, and just drove off.
Yeah, that's what I was. I think we were talking about a little bit. Is like, unfortunately, the cartel does better for most of the people of their area than the federalities do. Like, it's kind of wild. It's like old school gangster shit, like Al Capone type of shit, where it's like, I'm gonna give back to the city. Like, yeah, I'm gonna make my money, but I'm gonna give back to the city. So, and like, Cancun was cool. Like, we didn't do any of the, like, we didn't actually go to the city. We didn't leave the resort at all. But it was also because the resort was so fucking far from downtown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we had to go through a jungle. Like, if you looked, I might have a picture somewhere. From the top of the balcony that we were on, it was just ocean on one side. And when you turn around, it was just jungle as far as you could see. So it was like, there was nothing close by for you to walk to. So if anybody was off the property, they were doing it not looking, like, I'm going to walk to town. No, you won't. Like, you're not going to do that. So it was wild. It was a cool.
Like Cabo, I think, was like a 30 to 40 minute ride.
Yeah.
To like the mango deck and everything like that. Like, we were like literally like 1, 2, 3, 4 coves away.
Yeah.
From where everything was going on. It was still cool, but
yeah,
you either make a day trip out of it or you just stay and get fucked up at the hotel.
I mean, once we realized how well the free alcohol was flowing, it was like, there's really no reason.
Why go out?
Yeah, why are we gonna, like, besides what we paid for the trip? I think we only then spent another maybe couple $100, and that was like buying tchotchkes and like weird shit like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like, we didn't spend really anything. Tip money and then fucking some stuff from the gift shop, and everything else was already paid for. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to fight trying to get out there, find a taxi back, deal with all that bullshit, worry about all my stuff, So it's cool. I mean, I told Audrey, though, I think the next big trip I want to do, though, is I want to go to Europe. I'm done with the tropical bullshit. I don't want to go to Mexico. I don't want to go to Hawaii. I don't want to go to the Caribbean. I don't want to do any of that shit. I want to go someplace. Go to Alaska, fucking Canada, Belgium. That's where I want to go. I want to go to Belgium.
I want to go to the Philippines. I want to live like a king. I want to swim with the dugongs, which I thought was just the name of a Pokemon, but they're a real fucking creature.
Yeah.
They're like manatees, but
Yeah.
stupider looking.
Yeah.
You can swim with fucking whale sharks.
Yep.
And you can live like a king for literally $300 for a week.
That would be next on the list for sure. That or like even Vietnam.
Or like Indonesia, Vietnam.
Yep.
Places like that.
Where it's literally like you take $500 out with you and you can't spend you can't spend
sink or swim. The only thing that's communicating is real rounded mouths talking while holding money, and you're both like you're concentrating as hard as you can to try to communicate, and he's concentrating because he wants the money. Yes, whatever you're saying.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, Audrey, one of the people that she used to work with, this lady, she's from Vietnam, and I guess she just went back like prior to the holidays or something like that. She hadn't been back in years. She was like, it was so good. It was just like well cleaned up, very nice, blah blah blah. Our buddy Brandon, I think he did something out in, I think it was Vietnam. He was out there. Yeah, I think it was Vietnam. But he said the same thing. He was like,
has some really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a lot of like,
got little holes where they pop out of.
Yeah, they have like full like art walks through the jungle now. Like it's like this used to be like and it's like a whole thing, and you walk through two hands holding like a bleeding heart and walk through it. And like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, I think it's because they kind of turned it into a tourist location. That's where they get a lot of their money. But you are right. I mean, that is the big one. I want to go someplace where taking $500 is ridiculous. Like I want to be pampered. I want someone with a fucking giant like ostrich. Yeah,
a nickel. I start my own hotel.
Oh God, that would be the nice thing. But if I'm not doing something like that, but then it's also like going back to like a humid ass fucking. Ugh.
Oh yeah.
I don't. Oh yeah. It was so gross. That was the biggest problem.
Your sunburn hat,
bro. I cannot. I hit Mexico and my right nostril did not stop dripping till we left, and it was just like it was the weirdest thing. No, the cocaine was way later. That was well after that. That was all the left nostril, my friend. But no, seriously, like I could not get my fucking face to stop leaking. And then it was just like, it was so humid. None of our shit dried. It was like towels. Like, thank God, room service is super dope. It's like every time like we'd leave the room, we just put the like turn down service on. And like throughout the day, they would just knock and be like, do you need more towels? Like, no, we're okay. Are you sure? Okay. All right. And then just left. But it was just because it was so fucking humid. Everything was so wet out there. I don't want to do that. I want to go someplace cold. I want to bunker down. I want to have a vacation in a fucking cabin in the snow. Go to Montana for a week.
I know a guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, before we close this out, we have something we need to address.
Oh, we've got some big things to address, apparently.
What are we going to play?
I don't know. We'll talk about that throughout the week. So we did say that next week, February 3rd, is our 50th podcast. We're doing it fucking live. And we said we were going to play Dead Island, and that got delayed until April. And there's not really anything else.
You sent me that, and I was like dying at work, and I thought it was because it was by Epic. I was like, oh, he's not going to buy it.
First off, I was pissed because when I was looking it up, I was like, where are we getting this? Because it's not on Steam. I was like, motherfucking Epic. And then I was like, oh, but it got pushed back. So thank God. I don't have to buy it anyway.
Oh. You didn't read, did you? I was like, no, it's by Epic. You're not getting it. I get it. You're like, no, it got pushed back. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so we'll have to figure it out. We'll plug around. We'll see. I mean, there's not really too many new things out there, but there are some.
I know.
Power washing simulator.
Hogwarts less.
It's 2-player, Brad. We can start off strong. What if
everything literally comes out like 1 week later?
I know. Yeah. I looked at January because I was like, oh, maybe we'll pick up something there's not really anything in January.
No.
And the more I started looking at stuff, like it's all later in February. So I think we pick something that maybe we can
random.
We pick something random, or we pick like a single player something or other, and we jam through a single player together. We just sit and have drinks and pass the controller back and forth. Do it like old school fucking game, old school gaming days, dude. Just old school couch co-op, you know.
You want to drink a bunch of Mountain Dew and see if we can beat fucking Gears of War in fucking 10 hours?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Plug it down, dude, and just get wild with it. I feel like that would be a cool experience. We'll just set up timers and figure out what we're doing. I mean, I think a lot of the day two anyway is just gonna be doing like tech stuff. Like we got to figure out how the mics and everything work, and I feel like that's gonna blast 90% of the day. We'll sit, we'll sit down, play a game, and then we'll do the podcast in the evening, and then go from there.
You know what it is? Speaking of experiences, I've never played Last of Us before.
Oh.
And I am currently playing the game, watching the episode, playing the game. And me and my girl are doing this together, and we're comparing. I was like, oh, did you notice that this was the same? Did you notice that this was the same? And then the next episodes, then you play up to that point.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking fun.
So from what I've heard so far, I've yet to see it. We downloaded it the first episode before we left, and then never watched it. And then we're gonna watch it tonight, but Audrey's not feeling well, so I think that might be a tomorrow thing.
It is pretty incredible how much is like almost like shot for shot. You're like, wow, good for like you guys are paying attention.
I'm very happy to hear that.
Good about the story that's being continued and not being like fucking just taken over, you know.
So I mean, I think that's a good thing, because especially for me, like I really love The Last of Us. That video game is probably on my top 10 list. Like it's a great fucking game. It's a great story. I mean, there are parts of that fucking game that you just can't forget. It's just so thick. And so having a show that does it so well, like makes me very happy, but that's also like why I'm so against seeing like the Marvel stuff or whatever. It's like, don't ruin that fucking story. That was like The Expanse was so good, because like at least the first two books, mirrored the show almost like verbatim. Like there were like lines that people were talking in the book that were used in the show, and it was like so well done, like mirrored image, that it felt good to watch, you know. And I think that's why The Expanse did so well. So if Last of Us does it right, man, they could be the first ever video game live action thing that just like fucking, again, except for
they debuted at 82% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep.
Which makes Pedro Pascal, I think it's like 6 for 6 or 7 for 7 on never being below that rating on anything that he's ever been in.
Yep. And it was also HBO's
also the second largest gaining on an episode.
Yep. On for HBO, right? Yeah.
I think it was 20% gained.
Yep. Which is fucking wild.
Outrageous.
Wow.
The only one that's beaten it is House of Dragons.
Yes. Which I think it's because people wanted to come back and not like leave with like season 8 with such a bad taste in their mouth, you know?
That shouldn't count, because you got all of the Game of Thrones people being like, hey, was episode 1 good? Oh, it wasn't absolute shit like everything that we just watched? Okay. All right, we're back.
Well, I think it's like the people that were like big fans of The Sopranos. That last episode of The Sopranos, were like they're just fucking eating dinner and Tony's just staring at the camera and it just pans in and then goes to black, and that's the season finale. Like everybody's like, the fuck? Like how do you end something like that? So it's like everybody who is a Game of Thrones fan gets all the way up to the last season and you're just like, what did you do? So like I could understand with House of Dragons coming out, people are like, want to like have that heart mended, you know what I mean? Like, I'll never find love again, and then like, you know, Fabio comes down the beach and you're like, oh, maybe I'll try it. So
I'll suck his dick.
Oh my god. All right, so next week got some episodes coming out. The first episode of The Forest came out. Did you watch it?
No,
you didn't watch The Forest. No. So we've got a few more episodes of that. I've got to get some recording done, and then we've got the fucking 50th right around the corner, man.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get over this sickness.
Yeah, dude.
So I can go into this just ready to die.
Yeah, yeah. Seriously, like that's the first thing I was feeling shit. I was just slamming fucking Dayquil all day, eating meds. was like, I'm going to get over whatever bullshit is in my face right now, and I'm not bringing it into next week. So, good.
All right. Rest. Heal.
Yeah.
Prepare.
Buenas noches.
We'll see you all. Buenas noches. We'll see you all next mañanas.
Sí.
Fridays.
Sí.
No tiempo para mi gusto. Por favor, quiero llenar dentro de tu cuerpo, chico y chicas. Ayúdame.
All right. Okay, we're out of here. Bye-bye.